Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready.
Why are you so extra, Jamie? Hi guys, welcome back to another video from HMS. I'm OJ, and today we'll be discussing things you should know before your medicine and surgery posting. Welcome. So, medicine, as you already know, internal medicine is or can be very intense, and surgery is laid back, or we presume it to be. But you should also know that these postings, it all depends on your school. So ideally, we have three different postings: the M1, S1, the M2, S2, and then the S3, M3. So like that. The first one is the junior one, let's call the middle one intermediate, and then the last one is the senior posting. Basically, these postings run for 8 weeks, 2 weeks of lectures, then 6 weeks in the clinics. Now, the things you should know before you start your clinical postings in medicine or surgery, as we have mentioned in various videos where we spoke about clinical exams, where we spoke about the curriculum, where we've spoken about how to hack clinical postings, you should get all your essentials ready. Most importantly, your stethoscope. Your stethoscope is really, really important, especially when you are starting your medicine posting. You don't want to be that person on the ward when they are asking you that where are your stuff, and you don't even have stethoscope. So the least you can do is stethoscope. You can then get the others such as the pen touch, the patella hammer, if you are so good. Then another thing you should keep in mind is your dressing. So in medicine, we are very big on corporate wears. We don't expect you to wear a sandal to school. We don't expect you to wear loose clothing, revealing clothing, stuff like that. Medicine is what you would call a conservative profession. So as much as possible, well, in Nigeria at least, as much as possible, they want you to present yourself conservatively so that you can appeal to any audience. At least if you are basic, then you don't stick out too much. You wouldn't have problems relating with a Muslim, relating with a deeper life member, or anybody. Just plain and bland. If you're a fashion killer, you might have to throw that away in medical school. So everything should be at a minimal makeup, knee length skirts. In some schools you're allowed to wear pant trousers, in some schools you're not, as a lady. For guys, your ties, your shirts. There's another video which should be linked up here about how to manage your clothes if you are working on a budget and still look good. So all those things are very important. Get a plain white shirt, some nice ties, and go with it. And your shoes, your socks, please dress well, dress appropriately, because it can be one of the things that they can use to just scatter your entire self-esteem when you come in. Another thing you should keep in mind when you are starting your clinical postings is that you don't have to know everything. You don't have to have the right answers to questions. There is, you are coming in with a lot of expectations for yourself. You want to be the one with the right answers and all of that, but don't beat yourself up too much if you don't know the right answers. Take your time to focus on the questions they are asking you. Don't focus on the answers you are giving. Focus that, okay, these are the type of questions they ask. These are how they want the questions to be answered. By the time you get to your 5th, 6th week, you realize that you know all the answers if you've been coming, because they are literally asking you the same thing. It's almost like a song. Once you've been involved in the clinical practice, you will eventually know all those things. So ideally, if you've gone through M1, you've gone through M2, and there are no strikes or breaks, by the time you are coming from M3, some things will just be, they'll be at your spinal level. Like we tend to say, they'll be at your spinal level and you will know it. So just keep coming. Don't beat yourself up if you don't know the answers to questions on ward rounds and in clinic. Another thing that I would like to say is that you are actually better than you think. So have it at the back of your mind that your superiors, registrars, consultants, they will not blow your trumpets. They always want to inspire you to do more. They will always want to inspire you to, keep reading, do better. But the truth is that you are good. At least averagely, you are good. For you to be in the medical class, for you to have made it to 400 level, 500 level, 600 level, you are good, you are doing okay. So have that at the back of your mind that, oh, I'm actually intelligent and I can handle this. I would also say that you should eat. I'm probably not the best advocate for food because I don't usually have breakfast. But for people that know that they need breakfast to function, food is very, very important. Please make time to eat. I know that setting the precedent for having breakfast, lunch, dinner might not be realistic in a medical school setting. The truth is that sometimes, most times, I only eat once a day. But if you can, try to do 2, 3. And if you know that during the week you are not eating very well, then during the weekend try to make up for that. If you are not on call, eat very well, keep your energy levels up, cut down on the sugars, coke and all sorts. There's a pandemic of addicted coke doctor drinkers, or drinkers doctor. Those, I don't know what that is, but you know what I mean. Cut down on the sugars, eat well, keep your energy up. And then I think my last point would be that read, study. There is no shortcut to knowing stuff. You have to put in the hours and actually read. You can divide your posting into 2. I think I started doing that recently. You can use the first 3 weeks to kind of get familiar with the stuff, understand what they want, get stuff from word round, read your jotter, read all that. And then the last 3 weeks you can now start opening your textbook and building on the knowledge. You already know what your teachers want. There are some specific things they are looking for. So if you spent 3 weeks on the wards in the clinics, clinical meetings, you should be able to have a mental picture of, okay, this is the extent of stuff I'm supposed to know. If you know that and you take that knowledge into your textbooks, then clinical posting should be fun for you. I feel like clinical posting is a bonus, so to speak, because if you come to school, you get marks for that, you get attendance, and then clinical exams can also go in your favor if you are composed and you approach it well. We have a video on passing clinical exams, so check that out. And I hope you've gained a thing or two. I wish you all the best, and remember, you already know, you can be doctor and happy. Bye. I'll see you in the next one.